I got some mail today from Binnacle. We are going to 50 Point Grimsby. We went there last year with our instructor, so we're trying to again on our own with our son, kind of as a test to see if we can do stuff like that, because we're planning on going to Thousand Islands later in the summer. But I feel like I might have messed something up with our VHF radio when hooking it back up, because we can't really send or receive any audio. So instead of fixing it, just got another system. No,
we just ordered more stuff.
we wanted to get something like this anyways, a handheld VHF radio. It doesn't have the same range as one that like an antenna mounted to the top of your mast, but I think for our purposes currently it'll be just fine. Currently we can't really use our own VHF because it's down here near the V-berth, and when the engine's on it's way too loud in here to hear anything that's going on. So being able to have this in the cockpit with the doors closed, we should actually be able to hear people. Just thought I would show you the unboxing. So we went with a standard Horizon HX890. I stayed up late one night looking at all sorts of different brands and models. We already had a standard Horizon, and that's a brand that I had already heard of. So it's just something I trusted. I looked up online what the best brands were. There was like 4 or 5 listed, and this was one of them. And I had just lost my iPhone in the water, so I looked up all their floatable VHF handhelds. And out of all their floatable ones, this is the only one that had that, what is it called? MMSI?
Oh,
What's it called?
it'll send the digital like location of where you are and like your boat's information and stuff like that, as long as you have it. DSC. We were wrong.
So look at me.
Look at me.
DSC.
Maritime Mobile Service Identity, or MMSI, is a unique 9-digit number that is assigned to a digital selective calling, or DSC, radio or an AIS unit. It's similar to a cell phone number, and your MMSI is your unique calling number for DSC radios.
So it has a DSC feature. It's also the only one that had a readout of your latitude and longitude, and I thought that would be an easy check for like our captain's log, like every hour to write down your latitude and longitude, just in case you lose where you are, and you can kind of backtrack and figure out what trajectory you're on.
What's it called when you do that?
Dead reckoning?
Dead reckoning, yeah.
Then if our cell phones stop working, we have paper charts and an active
readout of where we were.
Yeah, readout of latitude, longitude, so should be able to find our way back.
You can't find your way back even using car GPS.
Yeah, because I don't have...
Because you don't trust it.
It's not standard Horizon. Let's go get some food. Season 3, here we come, bitches!
That smells super good, baby.
This episode, we leave for our first solo cruise to 50 Point in Grimsby, Ontario. But first, we have to figure out our solar.
Chris has been working away on the electrical this morning. I keep saying we, I'm not doing any of the electrical. Chris has hooked up the solar charge controller and the monitor for the solar charge controller. This is not the permanent panel, I think we've explained before. But look how like nicely run all those wires are for the space we have. And then like most things have loom on it. Everything goes to a fuse. It's great. Now we're gonna try and test the solar panels, which we still haven't figured out how we're gonna run the cables up to where we're gonna put them potentially on the Dodger. Everything is kind of speculative at this point, and the wires that Chris has hooked up right now to take out to the solar.
All stations. This is Prescott Coast Guard radio. Prescott Coast Guard.
Our VHF works though, which is good.
About 1.4 amps.
Seems like it's working. How much do we want it to be charging? Like what's ideal?
For example, the fridge draws like 6 amps, 7 amps, something like that. And we're putting in half that. So we need 2 solar panels.
1 solar panel, yeah.
Just to keep up with the fridge. But it also doesn't run all the time.
Which won't kill the battery. But then once it stops running and drains the battery a bit, that'll help catch the battery back up again before the fridge turns on again, right?
Hopefully, except for at night, and that's why I was a little concerned about night times, because our batteries aren't big enough to support the fridge all night long.
So the plan is to put the solar panels on the Dodger, one here and one on the other side of the boom there, because if any portion of this is shaded, it won't work the way it's supposed to, right?
Right. So if the port side is covered by the boom, then hopefully the starboard side still has power.
Chris has been out here busy.
So we want to mount our solar panels on our Dodger, but we've never been able to sail with our Dodger because the flaps, if you show up the other side, they kind of cover the winches. So
they don't kind of cover the winches, they absolutely cover the winches.
Yeah, so it's really difficult to sail. Like I think we did it once or twice, but it's not.
You can't really actively tack or anything like that.
So we always knock it down, but if we're going to mount solar panels on top, then that has to be somewhat permanent.
And it sort of makes the Dodger not really that useful, because the whole point of that is for spray and stuff like that, wind coming in your face, but like you can't sail with it, so this is maybe probably just a temporary fix. It's definitely a temporary fix.
But it looks like harp strings, so these are coming back to this point to put tension in it. Left just enough space to be able to use the winch still. The next Dodger will probably come to this point, come straight down, maybe be a hard top, so you can just screw the solar panels right into it, because we're doing a lot of dicking around. Like I got rid of the other rigid solar panels and got the soft ones, but now I don't have anything to mount to, so I have to make these flexible solar panels rigid anyways in order to mount them. So
Chris had like a 5-hour nap today, so much for the like plan of getting a whole bunch of stuff done, but it wasn't 5 hours. It was like 3. But he needed it, so it's good. I'm glad. I'm happy.
sounds like it.
I don't want to do anything now. I just want to hang out, but you're doing work now. We're supposed to do work in the afternoon and party in the evening, and now I'm already on party mode and Chris is on work mode. So
Rock and roll.
yeah, I don't really know how to handle that. So I'm going in here for a second because my phone was dying.
Smile. That's your thumbnail.
We were now pretty much all set for our little cruising weekend. The fridge was full, the water tank was full, and might I add, no longer leaking, and our solar was temporarily hooked up, just in case we needed it.
The reason why I haven't made my own bed yet is because we have to pump out and we will need to rip this whole thing apart anyways so that we can look at the pee poop box and make sure that it is actually pumped out. But otherwise I think the boat looks really nice. Ready for this weekend, ready for sailing, ready for anchoring out. I need to put clothes on that are not disgusting and stained and sweaty, so. Especially because I just showered. Oh, I'm showered and he showered, so I feel like a very successful mom right now. Heck yes.
Oh, that's my best friend Haley. She's just coming to anchor out for one night with us. Hello, I'm in a onesie, and I like to sit in my hammock in my onesie, because actually, oh, I saw a fish jump. Actually, I've never done that before. So, it's a gingerbread onesie too, so it's like a Christmas onesie, and yep. This is my view.
Our light's on.
Oh, nice. You want to sit in the hammock for like 5.5 seconds before you go to bed? It's pretty nice.
You don't mind?
I
Are you
don't.
done with it? You're all right.
I was no, I know. I was having too much of a good time. I could have slept in there all night. This is actually Christopher's gift. And how often do you get to lie in it?
Not often.
No. Doesn't that feel good?
Yeah, I can read a book out here.
Yeah, you can if you want.
I listen to my audiobook.
There's no mosquitoes out here tonight.
I gotta look after William.
I can open the door and keep an ear out for him if you would like to lie in your hammock.
After returning Haley safely to the dock, it was now time to head out of Hamilton Bay and onto the Big Lake for our first big cruise of the summer.
Yeah, Daddy's going a little faster. There's a tanker right behind us again, and we're going in through the pier now to try and get under the bridge. Yeah, it's 9:57 and we're in the lights now, like in between the piers, so we're good on time. I know, there's so many seagulls. Stinks like fish in here.
It does?
It is stinky, yeah. I think that might be why all the seagulls are there. obstacle is